Hi, this is Little Dwarf playing games while rambling incoherently into a microphone. Why? Well, just because I can. And I continue with Disco Elysium blind. Now, the problem is, it's already 5 p.m. and I haven't really accomplished anything that pertains to the main plot today. So, the other problem I have is that I don't know how to get to the harbor other than by agreeing to be a racist nationalist, with the measurehead. Because there was supposed to be a secret passage to the harbor here through Kuno's hideout, but I can't seem to find it. Like, I can't go over there. The only check that could possibly allow me to do it is jumping to get the code, but the problem is I have a really low chance of achieving that. So I think I will still retry. Like, I will, because there's this check. What is it? I think it's savoir-faire, right? Policeman cloak. Yeah, but it's currently locked. And the problem is I only have around 10% chance, even if I put a point into it. But it might be a useful skill to have, a little bit of, motoric skills. I do have a couple of skill points, so I will level this up, actually. And I will just try, basically it's a dice roll.
The tarpaulin cloak with possible RCM markings is still caught on the railing.
Okay, great.
As you leap in the air, a chilly breeze engulfs you, sharpening your senses.
I probably shouldn't close my eyes. I only barely did it.
As the concrete floor welcomes you, you realize it's been a while since you felt so alive, alert, capable. Must be the adrenaline.
I knew you could do it. My climbing down might not have been as disco as your jump, but at least we can explore the harbor now.
With your feet firmly planted on the concrete, the noise of the harbour rushes back in.
Okay, +1. That's actually pretty cool, because it's a bonus to 2 skills, and doesn't have any negative things. So, a police cloak made from heavy tarpaulin. It would be wind and waterproof if there weren't 3 bullet holes scattered on the surface. The signature white rectangle of the RCM covers the garment's back. +1 esprit de corpse. Taking back the streets. +1 shivers. Know thy neighborhood. Okay, but the most important thing is I don't have to be a racist. Collecting rainwater.
Yes?
At least 3 packs worth of cigarette butts. Numerous empty bottles of Commodore Red and potent Pilsner.
All those empty wine bottles and cigarette butts on the ground. Someone partied really, really hard here.
Did I do this?
Well, yes, I think we can say with relative confidence that it was you.
The lieutenant looks at you and then at the bottles. Yeah, this is really sad. I must have been miserable.
Yes, this scene isn't exactly ripping with joy. Let's just move on.
He turns to leave. Okay, at least I can clean after myself a little bit there.
This is the night watchman's booth. The name on the door reads, René Arnaud. You need to rest. Your body is aching. Getting in here has taken something out of you. Have a seat.
All right. Have a seat.
The chair is not as austere as the rest of the booth. A thin grey pillow is attached to the seat, secured to the stiles by black ribbons.
Search for a little something something. Is that drugs? Or you mean the snack?
The drawers are empty, save for old timesheets and receipts. One small box, however, does hold some cheap painkillers. They are slightly out of date.
Read the side effects.
Oh boy, where to start? Elevated risk of dementia, mini strokes, prophet's disease, sudden death, hair death, erectile malfunction, critical flatulence, watery blood, black mucus, uncontrollable weeping, increased sensitivity to la opera, inoperable joint disorder, total spinal collapse.
To be honest, you could get pretty anxious by reading actual side effect lists on medicine, because a lot of them do actually include death. Even things like ibuprofen, they list death as a potential side effect, because once every couple million cases it happened, and they had to do it for insurance reasons.
Maybe this was a bad idea.
Kim, would you mind if I helped myself to some meds?
I'm not here to tell you what to do, detective.
I will not do it. Get up.
You stand and exit the booth.
So this is where Renee works. Let's have a look around.
If you must. But please hurry. We are pretty easy to spot up here.
Nothing incriminating catches your eye. The cabinets are clean and their sparse contents meticulously organized. There's a framed photograph on the table.
I would like to look at it, but I don't want to take it, so leave it alone.
Let's get going. The entire neighborhood can see us up here.
All around you, great machines and quiescence. The white pine trees are painted onto the screen covering. Looks like a forest under snow. You see faded industrial lettering on the platform. Kvalsund.
A rusting control panel with several knobs. 2 buttons marked Marsh and Arrête are faded with use. It seems to control the large crane above. A container is attached to its hook block. Marsh. On. Arrête. Off.
Yeah, probably shouldn't be touching random machinery without a concrete purpose in mind. The shipyard ahead is oddly quiet. The great machines are sleeping. The speaker tower is silent. There is no work to organize the yard below. The musk of oil and rust comes out from the chasm in front of you. It smells like blood. Faln Ultra Series gloves. To be honest, I do prefer those that I currently have. Industrial-sized thermos. Smells like burnt coffee. The banner sags under the weight of rain and snow. White waves on red.
Container, container, I'll turn you nice and red. Container, container, put the logos on.
The lyrics to this container song are being made up as he goes along. The accent is so thick, it's impossible not to notice he's Ubi, from the vanishing peninsula of Ubisund on Muindi.
Okay, that's a very weird name for a place, because Ubisund means where are they in Latin?
Container, container, used to be Wild Pines. Container, container, now belongs to Ervart.
The tiny man is so engaged in his work that he doesn't notice you. Hi.
Ervart, 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 he looks after everyone. Huh? Well, hey there. How can I help you, mister?
He smiles. Well, there's a man who enjoys his work.
The look in his deep blue eyes is as sincere as you've ever seen. Kind of makes you feel like an arsehole for no apparent reason.
I see you are not a union man, mister. Did you get lost? You're not one of them scabs, are you?
What is it with you people in scabs? A shadow passes over his kind face.
I mean, I don't personally mind. Folks is just folks, you know, and folks gotta eat.
He doesn't seem to be waiting for you to answer.
Just some of the other guys don't look too kindly on the scabbing kind, if you know what I mean, mister.
You're Yubi, right?
Oh yes, born and raised in Arish, mister. Mum had to leave my dad after he got a bit violent. Took us here to the new world. I was about 10 then, too old to lose my accent then. People say us Ubis are up to all sorts of trouble with sheep and other animals and whatnot. I just want you to know there was never any of that where I come from. No sir, those are just nasty rumors.
Thank you for clarifying that, sir.
What are you doing with the containers?
Oh, I'm just making some covers for them containers here. Yes I am, yes I am. So it's easier for the crane operators to spot them.
He waves at the containers behind him. What's going on here? Look at the mountains of containers rising behind him.
The containers in the yard are green in Wild Pine's livery, and the mountains rising behind Leo is all red in Union colors. It's like some red infection was spreading outwards from the container yard's core.
Leo, has anyone told you why you need to change the covers?
No, not really. Mr. Ervart doesn't tell me all the big things. Says I go and tell them to everyone.
This looks like a massive redecorating operation, Kim.
Yes, they are hiding it from the inside. All the red containers have the Debarders Union logo on them.
Thanks, Leo. You've been helpful.
Oh, no trouble at all, mister. No trouble at all.
The little guy affirms merrily. Where is everyone? The harbor is empty.
Oh, most of the guys are down at the gates, keeping the scabs from coming in.
He leans in with a confidential look.
We're on a strike. The whole union is. You don't have to work when you're on strike. Ha! We haven't worked for 2 months now.
So no one is working?
Not everyone is down there, of course. Mr. Ervart is in his office, where he always is. And Jean-Luc is guarding the gate. But Titus and his boys got into some drunken trouble and Ervart sent them on a nice vacation. For a week or so.
He stops, but seems eager to tell you more. What kind of trouble did this Titus and his friends get into?
Oh, I'm not really supposed to talk about that. That's union business.
He smiles and leans closer.
Him and his boys stirred up something in town. Probably drank too much and got into a fight or something. I heard Mr. Ervart telling them to take some time off.
Oh, interesting.
Don't go all bad cop on this simple, friendly fellow.
But what did they actually do?
I guess the boys got a bit too rowdy and had to let out some steam. I don't really know the details. That's just how boys are, you know. I haven't been in a fight since I was in middle school.
Easy, Leo. Let's keep this on the hearties.
He keeps to you for assistance.
Look at him. It's not going to be anything useful anyway. Don't fight it. Better to go with the flow.
Sure, tell me that little story. for us to get friendlier. Let's hear about that fight you got into.
I remember I was the runt of the class. The bigger boys always used to pick on me. You see, I had a bit of a temper back in the day. Flew off the handle like nobody's business. But Mr. Ervart and his brother always came to help. Once they beat old Noel Becker so bad he needed stitches on his head. Noel never started another fight with anyone after this. Mr. Ervart and Mr. Edgar are real nice guys, mister. You should go talk to Mr. Ervart. I'm sure you'll be good friends. He's friends with everyone around here.
You're never getting anything useful out of him. It's good enough you found out Ervart has a brother called Edgar, and he helped Leo.
But what about... I thought I would be able to ask the other question as well.
Oh, we're on a...
So, no.
Not, but Titus and his boys got... Oh, him and his...
Don't go all bad cop on this simple
I guess the boys got...
Easy.
Look at him. It's not gonna be anything useful anyway. Don't fight it. Better to go with the flow.
Okay, if I am able to ask this question, why do I have to go through the dialogue again? Why wouldn't it just give it to me? To Rowdy, Leo, what kind of a fight did they get into? Did they kill a mercenary?
Too late. Leo's mouth is still moving, and the words are spewing forth. Words, words, and look, even more words. This guy could go on till the end of days. Now he's talking about some drunk sawmill owner who... No, he already switched to a prized fishing rod he apparently owned at some point. You know what? Just cut in there with your questions.
Do you work here?
Yes, yes. Everybody needs a job, and this is mine. I'm Leonard, by the way. Leonard Bellick. But everyone calls me Leo.
The little man raises his hand in a welcoming gesture.
I'm like Mr. Everett's right-hand man when Mr. Edgar is out of town, and Mr. Edgar's right-hand man when Mr. Ervart is away. Actually, Miss Beaufort is the right-hand man, but she's a lady.
Who is this, Miss Beaufort?
The lieutenant looks up at Leo.
A real pretty lady with a skin like those douce sucre candy bars my missus likes so much. Them are real nice to suckle on once the dinner is done and me and the missus sit down beside the radio. But I can't listen to the radio all the time. There's so much to do around here and I'm always busy keeping things running here. Yes I am, yes I am.
Stay on this Miss Beaufort topic.
Hold on. Who's this Miss Beaufort you mentioned?
Oh, Lizzie, she is a real sharp tool. Mr. Ervart put her through some fancy school and everything, east of the river. 4 years she was gone, and when she came back, she was all fancy and lawyerly.
He respects that word. That's obvious.
But she's a real nice girl. Grew up in this here neighborhood. Knows everybody and gets along with everyone. Real pillar of the community one day, I'm sure.
For a fraction of a second, there's sadness in his eyes.
If me missus and me was to have a child, I'd be real happy if she turned out like her. But she can't have kids. Dr. Lemaitre said so, and she knows about such things. Been a doctor for almost 50 years she has.
He sighs and falls silent, watching you meekly with his blue eyes.
So Ervart trained a lawyer named Miss Beaufort. Interesting.
I think you're doing a great job around here, Leo.
Yes, this place really seems to run like clockwork. Keep it up, Leo.
The lieutenant smiles at the little man.
Well, thanks a lot. Coming from you, it means a lot, really.
You didn't think it was possible, but the smile becomes even wider.
Sometimes I feel some of the guys don't really get how much I bust my ass for them here. But you guys are alright.
The white rectangle on your clothes might not mean an awful lot in Martinaise, but the recognition from an authority figure made Leo's day.
What is in that container over there?
Oh, that one. That should be empty as far as I know. Lots of containers here have nothing in them. They're just waiting to be loaded up.
I'm looking for the leader of the union.
Oh, you want Mr. Ervart then? He's an awfully nice fellow, he is. Him and his brother are both nice fellows. They've lived their entire lives in this here neighborhood. Guys like Mr. Ervart and Mr. Edgar, his brother, are real good guys. Made Martinaise what it is today. Mr. Ervart and Mr. Edgar and I went to the same school we did when we were boys.
Patience. Deep down you have the mental power to keep listening. Not many would, but you do.
Had an arithmetics teacher, Miss Bellows. Her real name was Miss Bellams. She was a real pretty lady, but when she got mad... All the boys liked her, if you know what I mean, mister. We used to sneak in her yard in the dark and peek through the window. One time we saw Miss Bellows with a fellow. Yes, we did, mister.
He looks for a sign of disbelief in your eyes.
Them was naked too. That's all I got to say about that.
He keeps nodding and looking at you with a smile, all too sincere to be clever. Finally, he seems to lose some internal struggle and adds, very interesting, very interesting. Thank you for telling me the whole thing.
Thank you. Almost forgot. Mr. Ervart is in that container over there. I got distracted telling the story, but he's in there.
Okay, I'm off.
Bye-bye now.
He returns to his work. In that one. The coffee in the giant thermoses is still lukewarm. A stair made of pallets leading down. Wow, that's a very large man. In an even larger chair. A taxidermy fish that tells time.
Before you is a walrus of a man seated behind a large desk. He looks up from his work, not the least bit surprised to see you. With great effort, he straightens himself up in his chair, yet says nothing. A typical power play. Wait for him to speak first. Show him you've got a backbone.
Alright, say nothing, look him dead in the eye.
The one good eye of this man fills you up without even flickering. The other, his lazy eye, is constantly moving like a goldfish in a tank, grotesquely magnified by his +6 glasses. Amblyopia, a childhood condition. For a moment, you don't know where to look. It is unbearably humid in the trailer. Beads of sweat slide down the man's forehead.
Keep staring.
At first, nothing happens. His face wears a wide and self-satisfied smile. Every now and then, he smacks his big lips. Like a general over his maps, he plots his moves. Judging by the way he's licking his chops, it's going to be a good one.
So...
He begins to speak, albeit slowly, purposefully leaving a pause after that opener.
Mr. Dubois, Mr. Kitsuragi, how nice that you found a moment to pay a visit to the Debardairs Union. I'm Ervart Clare, head of this little operation here. Please, have a seat.
He gestures to a tiny folding chair opposite of his giant desk.
The folding chair looks like a torture device. Extremely uncomfortable.
You go ahead, detective.
The lieutenant nods at you, then the chair.
Whatever he has in store for you, it can't be good, he thinks. I'll do my best. Forget about that. What's with this Dubois stuff? You're getting some seriously bad vibes from that name.
Is that my name? Why are you calling me that?
Please, Mr. Dubois, let us converse in a civilized manner, as equals. Take a seat. I insist.
It's nothing. Yes, that's probably right. It's nothing. Forget about it. Filter it out. He's trying to throw you off your game with this Dubois nonsense. Don't give him the pleasure.
I don't sit, it's my kind of thing. No, let's take a seat.
Excellent, Mr. Dubois. I can see that you're a reasonable man, and reasonable men can be of great use to one another.
He gives you a sly wink. Remain serious. I am not in the habit of winking to people I have just met.
So tell me, how can the head of the Debardairs Union help a representative of the Revachol Citizens Militia today?
How? Really? The chair is going to kill me.
The chair you're sitting on has got to be the most uncomfortable chair in the world. It's violating your backside.
Oh, by the way, I heard you got a rather rude reception from a certain Lawrence Gart. Some people have no manners, it pains me to say. This should take care of that nonsense.
He points to a novelty check on his desk. It's absolutely comically huge.
It should be sufficient to cover your expenses for a few days and patch over your differences with a cafeteria manager. Go ahead, take it.
No, that's a bribe? I shouldn't be accepting, just accepting money from people, especially with from people who have like a political angle. Keep it, I'm good. But you know Guard?
Yes, I know Lawrence. He's a real character. No union man in him. A real piece of work, that boy is.
With a grin, he points to the checker game. It's like you're on a game show. At least don't thank him for it.
Keep it, I'm good.
Okay, okay. I respect a man with principles. No handouts, then.
He crosses his arms on his ample midsection and sinks further into his chair.
Now, I'd like to set your mind at ease about one other matter. Your lost gun. Let me assure you, Union people are on it as we speak. I've got my best hounds looking for that lost gun.
His slug-like lips move, but all you hear is an echo. Lost gun, lost gun, lost gun. The world is swallowed by a black hole of fear. Only two words escape its gravitational pull. Lost and gun. When he said, "Don't worry," he actually meant, be very worried.
How do you know about my lost gun?
I know everything, Harry. Right now, I know that you're worried. Don't be worried. Everything's going to be all right. It's not like you left it loaded. You didn't lose a loaded gun. Local children aren't out there playing with it right now, pointing it into their own mouths. It's in a safe place. I just know it. I have a feeling everything's going to be all right.
Yeah, apparently my don't panic roll is not going to be very successful. 3%. So basically I only succeed on double ones.
God, you're sweating. Your knee is jerking. You're about to cry, aren't you? You're about to cry because you lost your gun and those children are gonna shoot themselves with it.
No, I'm not going to cry. Try to stay cool.
Mr. Dubois, you don't look so good.
What is this, Mr. Dubois? He keeps repeating. What is he trying to pull here? You need to cool the fuck down. Chill.
Mr. Dubois! Mr. Dubois! Harry!
The large man snaps his fingers, but to no effect. You're in some kind of a stupor. Well, I guess I don't have much of a choice. There are no Harrys. Let your mind go to your safe place.
While Ervart is distracted by your odd behavior, the lieutenant's eyes are mapping everything around you. The folder, desk, papers on the wall.
Mr. Dubois, are you okay? Can I get you a glass of water or something? Are you having some kind of medical emergency?
Maybe you could use your hands somehow, in a kind of throw-in motion, like you're throwing that Mr. Dubois act right back at him. He's Mr. Dubois.
Why? That's kind of silly, isn't it? Actually, this chair is uncomfortable. I could use a glass of water. That's kind of admitting defeat as well. Either way I go. But to be honest, I mostly don't care for those kinds of social power plays. Like, this chair is uncomfortable.
What an odd demonstration of... you got me, Harry. I don't even know what. As entertaining as it was, I'm afraid we're wasting our time. And I'm an extremely busy man. as I'm sure you are too.
Okay, enough. We are here to ask you some questions pertaining to a murder investigation.
It is about time to stop embarrassing yourself. Questions will help you regain some of your lost dignity.
Okay. To be honest, want to talk about everything. You called me Mr. Dubois. Why? Is it my actual name? Harry Dubois?
Of course. Let us dispatch with the formalities. You call me Ervart, I call you Harry.
That's what the hanged corpse called you. Harry.
So that's really my name.
My God, so it's true. I didn't want to believe it, but you are a fantastic science fiction amnesiac cop, aren't you? What are the odds of that?
He shrugs with an amazed expression.
I think the odds of that are very low.
It might be a good idea to hide your confusion. I mean, see what his game is first.
My memory is fine, I'm just testing you.
So good to hear that, Harry. Apparently my sources were wrong. However, if you did have a spot of memory trouble, I could help you out. With my big fat folder.
Words flow like a river of honey from his lips. I guess word has already reached him. No matter. No harm done.
Are you trying to tell me you've gotten hold of some of our documents?
The lieutenant inspects Ervart over his spectacles.
Mr. Kitsuragi, would you mind? Me and Harry are talking about his lost identity right now.
His eyes never leave yours.
Don't just jump to the folder. That's not smart. Shows you're on the edge. Do some probing first.
What kind of cop does it say I am?
Well, Harry, if I were to sum you up in one word, it would be apologetic.
I'm sorry?
Yes. You seem to be. A lot of the time. But right now, there's no reason to be. Let loose a little. Be you.
I guess I will try to have a look at that folder. It seems important. It has potentially info on me and on the case. Have another look at the folder.
Everart's large hands are covering the folder, but the look on his face says, I know everything about you, Harry.
Knows everything about me. Got nothing to hide. Yeah, let's play it cool, or at least try. I've got nothing to hide.
Oh, Harry. Oh, wow. This is really something.
He peeks into the folder as if it's hard to turn away from the mysteries inside.
I'm sure it's not that bad. At worst, he has an old RCM folder, and I very much doubt even that.
So how about it, Harry? You need assistance, I presume?
Where did you get that folder?
Ah, this? My friends in your organization gave it to me, Harry.
This translates into, haha, you guys are so corrupt.
I find that very suspicious. May I have a look?
I'm afraid this is meant for Union eyes only, Mr. Kitsuragi. I'm sure you understand. Please continue, Harry.
Okay, let's talk of other matters for a moment.
Of course, Harry, of course. Let's not linger on personal details and amnesia. You wanted something from me.
Well, to be honest, it's stupid to shine a light on it. Could you help me get a dead body down from a tree?
You might have noticed there's one hanging on a tree behind the hostel cafeteria.
Oh my. Don't take this question personally, but why would I get involved in this matter?
Mr. Clare, the man was hanged with a cargo belt. A steel-reinforced cargo belt. It's safe to assume the Union had something to do with the murder. Besides, getting the body down would benefit all of us. It's a stain on the neighborhood.
Yes, you are a community leader. Help your community out.
I can certainly see how having him up there might start affecting some real estate values.
He licks his fat lips and smiles.
But of course, all joking aside, I am going to help you.
He picks up the handiest of radio phones to his right, then clicks a button.
Jean-Luc, my boy, I'm sending 2 police officers down. They have a dead body in a tree problem they need help with. Namely, they need it to be taken down. And Jean, please take it easy with the race science. That's a yes to getting the body down, no to the race science.
Oh, okay. So Measurehead's actual name is Jean-Luc, and I guess I didn't really think about it, but I guess he's probably called Measurehead because he's a phrenologist. You know, like phrenology was basically a pseudoscience that had to do with measuring people's skulls. And it had a lot to do with racism, because according to phrenology, you could tell people's personality and even like their predispositions towards certain professions or behaviors based on the shape of their skulls. So racists were, upon a time, quite preoccupied with phrenology, and I guess he is as well.
You can find Jean-Luc down at the gates. He's the big impressive one. You know, tattoos, muscles, ethnic looking. Can't miss him. Great guy.
I want to talk about the hanging.
Oh, of course. That's your main thing here. That's why you're in Martinez. I know everything that goes on around here, and I would love to help you, like I'm helping you with the body. I mean, it's no secret that the lynching is connected to the strike. So much to talk about. Honestly, it's been weighing on me so heavily. I understand you need to interview me. But there's a thing that's been keeping me up at night. I want to talk about the hanging. I mean, if we could just calmly talk, exchange information, we could blow this thing wide open.
Yes, that sounds good. Let's do that.
But I can't think straight with this thing weighing on me. You're police officers, aren't you? I have a crazy idea. You guys are basically door-opening machines. Incredibly talented at opening doors.
Well, Kim, what's your opinion on that? Are we door-opening machines?
I'm not sure I understand. If you're asking us to break down someone's door, it's not going to happen.
Come now. I just need you to go open a little door for me and leave it unlocked. A simple thing. Absolutely nothing shady about it.
An excellent opportunity presents itself, sire. You could win the trust of the arch-liar, pretend to play into his hand. Then, should you wish, bend his efforts towards your own.
I bet you don't even know anything.
Harry, my dear friend, I am what people call a local bigwig. I know everything that goes on in Martinez.
Whose door is it?
Oh, no one's. It's just a weasel. A weasel lives there. Nothing for you to worry about.
What do you mean by a weasel?
A loud blabbering weasel. When weasels feel no one is watching, they start acting foolishly.
He removes his glasses and rubs his nose.
Just go there, unlock the door, and leave it open. It's been such a burden on me, Harry. I just want this to be over so I can discuss business with you.
Why don't you just open it yourself?
Harry, I'm a very busy man, and more importantly, I don't have that extraordinary physique you do. You look like you could run around all day.
You want to send someone a message that the police are working for you.
I repeat, I'm a very, very busy man, Mr. Kitsuragi, and therefore I must occasionally enlist outside help. So what will it be, Harry?
I will say I'll do it, but I'm not sure if I actually will. I'll look into it. We need to talk about that murder.
Fantastic, my friend. Just let me know when it's done and we can take our friendship to the next level.
He flicks his fingers.
You can get the key from Manana. He's down by the gates. Manana's like a free agent in the Union. Special operations. Hardened socialist. A real free thinker too. He'll tell you precisely where the door is. One last thing, Harry. Just open the door. You don't need to go in or anything. I just want that weasel to come home and see the unlocked door.
I think I will open it, come in, talk to him, and explain to him that Ervart wanted me to do it, so that because it definitely seems to me like this is a setup for basically an assassination, possibly, because he's like, oh, there's a weasel who talks too much, and I need you to open his door for me. Like, I have a feeling someone might get killed here. I met Joyce, the company representative.
Oh, that's very nice. I haven't gotten around to her yet. I'm very, very busy, you see. I hope you're getting along. One thing I want to make very clear, Harry, is that this is not some kind of union versus corporation situation. Everyone is just pals here.
Just pals.
We're all trying to do what's best for Martinez here. Don't feel like you can't cooperate with her, because you and I are such good friends and I'm helping you get that nasty body down from the tree. I'm not a jealous guy.
Whoa, that's so nice of him. Suspiciously nice.
Why haven't you let her in to see you?
If she actually wants to see me, she will find a way. Any good negotiator would. And I just don't have anything to discuss with a bad negotiator.
He doesn't want to see her. It's as simple as that.
Are you sure about you not having problem with her? I find it a little odd.
I'm just a nice guy, Harry. I wouldn't be where I am now if I wasn't nice. Politics is all about emotions, and I want you to have positive emotions when you think of me.
Ervart, Joyce seems to think that the Union is lowballing her.
Yes, yes. Low balling, of course. This isn't a casino, Harry. Real people, real livelihoods are at stake here. But everything's a casino for those rich types.
His expression makes it clear. This is childish and irresponsible behavior.
What happened to the previous negotiator, Mr. Gamont?
What do you mean, Harry? Nothing. I let him go.
You made concessions for the company in previous negotiations. Why would you let an ally like that go?
He's an old man, Harry. I wanted him to spend more time with his family. God knows how long he's got left.
Apparently you called him a midget.
Harry! I have little people in my organization. I would never call someone a midget. What is this? Honestly, I'm beginning to think you're a midget, Harry. I'm only kidding, Harry. You're not a midget. No one is. We're pals.
Joyce said the previous union leader vanished under suspicious circumstances.
Vanished? Harry, the woman left her casserole in the oven and couldn't make it here in time for the voting. Oh, did I leave my casserole on? Better go home and check. The election can wait. When she got back, the whole thing was over.
Wait, there was no mention of a casserole from Joyce.
Funny, Joyce didn't mention any casserole.
Harry, Harry, Harry. Do not fixate on this little matter. Maybe it was a rabbit stew, or a hairdryer, or an iron. The point is, her heart wasn't in it. Mine was.
That much is true. His heart truly is in it, though you wouldn't think so by looking at him. This particular brand of humor he has, it makes for a fine distraction. If it's spilled blood you're looking for, then there certainly isn't any in his expression or demeanor now.
Okay, let's talk about something else.
Of course, Harry. Let me just assure you one more time. It's perfectly okay to share anything we discuss here with this Joyce. This is a completely transparent organization. I have no interest in what she is doing, but I myself have nothing to hide. Your business is your business, and I respect your privacy. Just remember, none of this is secret. Tell her about all of it. My brother's picture, my singing swordfish clock. Tell her how overweight I am and how I'm helping you find your lost gun. Tell her about everything. Ervart doesn't mind.
It is rather interesting to tell people things about each other, isn't it? It was nice telling him about her right now.
Let's talk about my lost gun.
Yes, your lost gun. My best men are on it. They're turning every stone, searching every playground, asking kids, grandmas, everyone. Your gun will be found, Harry. Let me assure you of that. It's just a matter of time and effort.
The only way to find it seems to be working with him. He might even be holding your gun hostage.
Could he really be doing that? What's my intuition telling me?
Who knows? Only one thing is certain. If you work with him, you're going to get it back. And working with him might be the only way to do it.
The gun may have been bought from Roy's pawn shop. Have your men factored that in? He seems to know a lot more about my own affairs than I myself do at this point. So, I might, if anything, use him to get more info. I don't see much harm in that. Have your men factored that in?
Yes. Thank you for the hot tip regarding your lost gun, Harry. My men have indeed factored in that you pawned it. Now please, let the professionals do their job. Kick back, Harry, relax. I have great guys on this. You focus on what's important. Building our relationship for the good of Martinez.
It did not come as a surprise to him. He might actually not be bullshitting.
Well, I will not be blackmailed with this gun business.
Harry, I was only trying to be tactful. A lost gun is a dangerous thing. I can't have it around in my neighborhood. Kids could be playing gun roulette with it as we speak. Teenage gangs could be arming themselves. Get a hold of yourself, Harry.
I assure you, we are working on locating the missing sidearm as well.
The lieutenant is concerned about the lost gun and feels that the fact you haven't prioritized looking for it is unfortunate, if inevitable, and doesn't put the RCM in a good light.
Excellent, Mr. Kitsuragi. That's excellent news. Looks like we have a friendly gun-finding competition on our hands.
I want to go over a couple of things about me.
Let's hear it, Harry.
Well, so let's get it straight. What is my full name?
It's Harry. Harry Dubois.
He glances at the folder.
You feel like a Dubois, but you don't feel like a Harry. Strange.
I thought you were Harry Dubois. I feel like a Dubois, but not quite like a Harry. I'm thinking about something longer.
Sure, okay. You're Harold. Harmon. Haroldamus. But that's not what the record says. The record says Harry Dubois, a real man's name. Mr. Kitsuragi doesn't seem even slightly empathetic to your memory loss, Harry. I, however, wish to help you any way I can.
Do you know anything about my family? Do I have a wife or kids?
Family? Harry, you're not a family man. There's not one peep of family in here. Unless you think you're a family man. Do you strike yourself as a family man, Harry?
No, I don't.
That's why I like you, Harry. A good man knows both his strengths and his weaknesses, and you, my friend, you are one of the all-time greats.
Let's talk about other matters.
Of course, Harry, of course. Let's not linger on personal details and amnesia. You wanted something from me?
I just finished investigating the local drug trade. I think this is a better angle to pretend I know more than I already do, because this is a bit confrontational. I've just finished investigating the local drug trade.
You've got a lot of spirit clearing up the drug problem alongside this murder. I'll talk to the mayor and see if I can get you the key to the city, Harry. Now, let's talk real business.
Actually, Rivershell doesn't have a mayor. He refuses to discuss it further. It's probably just a small nuisance to him. Not even a speck of anger in his voice. That's that then.
Well, I guess that's it. I'm going to leave now, but we may talk again later.
Wait. You need this to get in and out through the gate.
Great, wouldn't want to get stuck in here.
Here, you're one of us now. A real red and white union man. Take care, Harry.
running. I don't think that there exists such a thing as encumbrance in this game. So how do I get out exactly? Kvalsund means Whale Fjord in Ardan. The radio is emitting strange buzzing sounds. Book La Fume, Volume 1, Number 4. This is a Dewey typewriter. The name of the model is on the back. Every worker member of the board is written atop the flyers. At the bottom, the Union logo and Demand Democracy. A standard office file cabinet. Drawers seem to be locked. Someone left the coffee machine on. Dark liquid in the pot seems almost sentient.
On second glance, someone has forgotten to properly close one of the drawers.
It's unfortunate for the Union to just leave their paperwork lying around like this.
Let's see what's inside, he thinks.
Yes, because it might be relevant to the case. Open the drawer.
The drawer opens smoothly. Inside is a well-organized selection of brown folders.
Browse through the folders.
Hundreds of documents containing logistical data. Two kinds of transactions stand out. Materials coming into Revachol from the outside world, from Muindi, Grad, and even Ilmara. And the same materials being handed over to companies inside Revachol. Kuron, Coal City, La Delta, and Jamrock are listed among the many districts where the imports are being sold.
Anything interesting?
It's hard to make sense of this thicket of company names, dates, quantities, and percentages. You try to focus, but the lines are getting blurry.
Force yourself to go through the folders.
Whatever's hidden here is hidden well. Concentration isn't enough. Only a trained accountant with a background in logistics would be able to really make sense of it. However, there is a little handwritten note stuck on the side of the drawer.
Look at the note.
It appears to be a to-do list written in large, uneven capital letters. Remember, Leo, Ervart's shoes, special whirling borscht, water Ervart's plants, sweep office floor, more banners. All items on the list have been crossed out, and the note itself is crumpled.
Look, Kim, a to-do note with a list of errands for Ervart.
One of his aides must have left it. Nothing incriminating here.
The special borscht seems a bit odd in the list.
Take another look.
Remember, Leo, Ervart's shoes, special whirling borscht, water Ervart's plants, sweep office floor, more banners.
Maybe special means poisoned?
All items on the list have been crossed out, and the note itself is crumpled. The drawer slides shut smoothly.
Okay, I doubt this has anything to do with the case, but I'll still look at it. The leading intellectual organ of Martinez communism offers a radical Mazovian perspective on a range of contemporary issues. The covers feature a stylized portrait of the late King Frisell, with a pair of white antlers growing out of his head.
The front of this quarterly journal features a large satirical portrait of the late King Frisell. From the sides of his head, a pair of white antlers spread to the corners of the cover.
Why Frisell?
Because Frisell was incompetent, foolish, and cruel. In short, the embodiment of everything the communards wished to overthrow. It's satire, you see.
Flip through the pages, see what catches your eye.
To your disappointment, there aren't any full-color pictures to direct your attention. Just column after column of closely set text, interrupted occasionally by little doodles in black and white. After rifling the pages with your thumb several times, you return to the table of contents. The magazine is divided into several sections: international development, Kunst und Kultur, and local concerns. Just inside the cover, there's also an editor's note.
Read the editor's note.
Comrade, as you know, this journal takes its name from Mazov's immortal expression, Du cristal a la fumée. This was his way of describing the way the rigid, crystalline structures of capitalist ideology turn to smoke under communism. But, like the structures of capitalist ideology, we too are at risk of going a la fumée. Unlike many publications which are content to spoon-feed their readers reassuring drivel, La Fumée is committed to telling the radical truth, even when that truth may drive away potential subscribers. Only 4 issues in, and it sounds like they've already alienated their readership. So please, if you value our radical Mazovian perspective on contemporary politics, culture, and international affairs, please consider subscribing today. Yours in struggle, the editors.
Play it cool, pretend everything's in order. I'm not going to cry to Kim about communism.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you.
I want to catch up on international developments.
This section includes a long, tedious critique of the latest round of free trade negotiations between the EPIS nations and the Free State of Semenine. You also skip over an article about heavy fuel oil smuggling along the Messina border, something about bear wrestling in Samara, book riots in Yugograd. Face it, you really aren't interested in foreign affairs. You're not even sure where most of these countries are. You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you.
What is Kunst and Kultur?
It takes a moment, but gradually it dawns on you that Kunst und Kultur must mean arts and culture. Why they decided to title this one section in Valda is beyond you. It evokes a sense of recognition and fellowship among those privileged enough to understand. As you leaf through this section, you come across several reviews of recent radio plays, as well as a brief artist spotlight featuring a local artist identified only as CS. The main feature, though, is a long essay titled Tip Top Tournée, a critical Mazovian perspective. The Tip Top Tournée is an inter-isolari racing series, mostly known for its high speeds, ludicrous sponsorship deals, and high death toll. In Revachol, it's held quadrennially on the prestigious Zero Carousel racing circuit.
Read the profile of CS.
This so-called artist spotlight is really just a brief Q&A, made all the briefer by the subject's evident hostility to her interviewer. That certainly sounds like a certain delinquent youth who likes to harass you from her balcony.
Alright, let's see what the communists have to say about Tip Top.
You think you're settling in for a relaxing recap of the most recent season, maybe sprinkled with some nice anecdotes about a few of the more colorful drivers. Instead, you find yourself skimming a 10,000-word feature about all the politically problematic aspects of Tip Top Tournée.
What's so wrong with Tip Top?
Where to even start? For one, there's the crass commercialism of its sponsorships, and then there's the practically criminal emphasis on deadly motor crashes. So, all of it, basically.
What's so bad about sponsorships? I do know what's so bad about motor crashes, but what's so bad about sponsorships?
Under capitalism, the article says, every pursuit has its price. Every pleasure, even one as elemental as the joy of racing others around a track, is reduced to an advertising opportunity. Thus, the so-called tournée becomes a competition between increasingly meaningless brand signifiers. Your discount laundry detergent racing against a pack of Astra cigarettes, or even a fritter.
Right, but then you get to see them crash.
And that precisely is what's problematic about it. Were it not for the promise of random, spectacular violence, audiences would quickly lose interest. At the end of the day, it's the destruction of these 750,000 real races that you're really watching for.
No, I don't think people are excited for crashing in racing. I'm pretty sure it's for the racing.
Sure, you think that, but subconsciously, it's the visions of brand names being engulfed in flames that you crave.
I never thought about it that much.
That's because you haven't been reading critically. But don't worry. The whole point of these sorts of articles is to let someone else read critically for you.
Kim, this article says that no one really watches Tip Top Tourney for the races.
Ah, come on. Can this article read your mind?
No.
Well, there you have it. No reason to get hung up on the pretentious ramblings of a few young men. If I had to wager, I'd say they've never even seen the inside of a motor, much less a motor race. I take whatever they write with a large grain of salt.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you.
See what they mean by local concerns.
Unsurprisingly, much of this section is taken up with articles declaring unqualified support for the dockworkers' strike. You skim the headlines. Paint the harbour red and white. Martinez tames the wild pines. A city in revolt. First we take Martinez, then we take La Delta. Finally, there's a brief article by the writer, G. Martin, accusing the owner of the Capeside apartments of illegally attempting to evict certain communist tenants simply for not having paid their rent.
Well, my opinion isn't that we should kill all the communists, and my opinion isn't that, on the other hand, my opinion also isn't that charging rent in itself is pretty outrageous. I don't think there's anything morally wrong about, like, being a landlord. You just have to be, baseline reasonable about it, and don't be an asshole. Wouldn't it be better for everyone if labor and capital could reach some reasonable accommodation?
According to these editorials, there can be no accommodation with the forces of international capital or their mucilaginous allies in the coalition. Why do communists love puerile insults? And they wonder why they're always being left out in the cold.
What was that about coalition?
Judging from the context, it's something very large and fundamental. You should probably know about it already, honestly. You flip back to the front of the magazine.
Postcard from Le Jardin. This laminated postcard can offer a glimpse across the river. A little more than a decade after the war, the eastern bank is already fully renovated. The hillside are lush with gardens and residences. Someone's parked a small beige airship by the fountain. This postcard will sell for a pretty penny. Okay, someone's medicine. I am not going to steal that. To be honest, I am tempted to steal that, but it doesn't have anything to do with the case, so I'll just leave it.
An imposing combination of a punch clock and a payphone is looking down at you from the wall. A note on the side says, "Tokens unavailable due to strike. Use change."
I don't really have anyone to call, right? But it's only 10 cents. I'll pay.
The machine swallows your coin and seems to be waiting for your next move.
Oh, okay. So maybe I can call, like, someone close to me. Do I have anything that would upgrade my interfacing even higher? No, but I probably should be wearing shoes, actually. not to mention pants.
The already familiar cold touch of plastic welcomes you as you pick up the handset.
Let your muscle memory dial a random number.
It's unclear whether you actually have muscle memory. Right now, your finger is just drawing vaguely occult patterns in the air.
Useful patterns?
Undoubtedly, no. Sure, why not? Muscle memory is a tricky thing.
To be honest, I might do it right away. Like, just put a point into this, because I do kind of want to put a point into this anyway. Interfacing for machines, because it's used with computers as well, and fixing stuff. I'll just do this.
Jamais vu. Derealization. Jamais vu. The opposite of déjà vu. Not already seen, but never seen. Everything that should be familiar appears strange and new, like some half-forgotten day in your childhood. Only now. That's the feeling you've been having. And for who knows how long. You should go and ask Joyce Messier about this. What world are we in? This is a fundamental question.
+1 XP for every orb clicked. Okay, this is pretty great, because it's going to amass after a while. All intellect cups raised by 1. Yeah, I can keep that.
The already familiar cold touch of plastic welcomes you as you pick up the handset.
Let's try that again.
Your fingers run over the dial pad. 005. That's the dialing code for Revachol. 4952, and a moment of hesitation before entering the final numbers. 993. Calling. Calling. Still calling. Then...
Video Revachol, 24-hour video rental. You rent 8 and 10mm film for home use. This is Lamy. How may I help you?
What is this place?
Video Revachol is a 24-hour video rental. You rent 8 and 10mm film for home use. This is Lamy.
Do you... No, I meant, what is this place to me?
Sir, I don't know. It's a video rental. Maybe you rent videos here.
Do you know me?
No.
Why did I call you?
Maybe you called to extend your rental period? Do you need to extend your rental period?
My name is Harry Dubois. Do you have anything on my name?
Let me fire up the machine. Dubois. Dubois. Here we are. You haven't rented anything in 5 years, but you still have a copy of Blue Ocean Hell from November '46. Whoa, not a fun film, that one.
What kind of film is that?
It's not an easy watch. After the death of his daughter and subsequent divorce, Ziemsk immigrant Ikitis Wojcik tries to come to terms with the onset of dementia. No wonder no one's been missing it. Still, it would be great if you could return it to us. We're on the corner of Voyager and Main.
The call is terminated by the other party. You're left with the discomforting sound of the disconnect tone.
Okay, I need to talk to the measurehead to get help for getting the body down, but I'm going to do it next time because this episode has been long enough. So that's all for this one, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!